All right, today we're diving into something that, let's be honest, touches pretty much all of us at some point, caregiving. But we're not just going to talk about the to-do lists. No, we're going deeper into what it really feels like, the human experience right at the center of it all. So let me ask you, when you hear the word caregiver, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Is it maybe struggle, sacrifice? Well, the reality, it's a whole lot more complicated, and you might be surprised to hear, it's often way more rewarding than we think. Okay, so check this out. This data from a 2019 report on caregivers in Ontario, it kind of flips the script on what a lot of people assume. Look at these numbers. You've got 26% saying it's very rewarding. Another 22% say it's rewarding, and 16% find it somewhat rewarding. And get this, only a tiny little slice, just 5% said it wasn't rewarding at all. So if you add all that up, what do you get? A whopping 64%. A huge majority of caregivers say their experience is at the very least somewhat rewarding. That tells us there's a much deeper story going on here, right? It's not just about the hard stuff. It's about connection, it's about purpose.
So you gotta wonder, where does that reward come from?
Well, it's not from one big thing. It's in all those small but really powerful moments. You know, just valuing the time you have together, creating new memories, even through the tough stuff. It's that feeling of knowing you're keeping a promise, or that little spark of joy when you see a tiny bit of improvements. And maybe most of all, it's that incredible sense of peace you get from just being there for someone you love.
Okay, but stats are one thing. What does this kind of transformation actually feel like for a real person? Let's talk about Jean. Her life changed when she became a caregiver for her dad, who was diagnosed with early onset dementia. And her story, wow, it really shows you how this journey can completely reshape who you are.
When she first started, Jean was pretty honest about it. It felt like a duty, an obligation. As she said, someone had to do it, pretty much. It was a responsibility that just landed on her shoulders. But then, something changed. A really big shift happened. That feeling of, I have to do this, slowly turned into, I choose to do this. It wasn't just a chore anymore. It was something she was actually happy to do. And that right there, that's the turning point so many caregivers talk about.
And you know what's amazing? Through this whole process, Jean found parts of herself she never knew existed. She discovered this incredible inner strength. She realized just how resilient and patient she could be. And ultimately, she found this whole new, deeper capacity for love.
And her final thought on it all really says everything. I was not the same person I was when I started, and I would not trade it. I mean, that just perfectly captures how life-changing this experience was for her.
So Jean's story really shows us the incredible personal rewards. But let's be real, caregiving is also a ton of work. It is a demanding job. So let's switch gears a bit and talk about all the different hats a caregiver has to wear. And trust me, there are a lot.
And this right here, this is the central conflict, right? It's like two sides of the same coin. On one side, it's deeply satisfying, important work. It's never boring, that's for sure. But then you flip that coin over, and it could be so stressful. It can be lonely. And oh my gosh, it can be absolutely exhausting. And the trick is, both of these things are true all at the same time.
And the sheer amount of stuff a caregiver does, it's just staggering. It's so much more than one job. You're a shoulder to cry on, an emotional rock. You're a taxi driver. You're providing hands-on personal care. You might be doing basic medical things, trying to navigate a crazy maze of doctor's appointments. And oh yeah, on top of all that, you're probably managing money and paperwork. It's literally like 10 or 20 jobs all rolled into one.
And all of that weight can really take a toll. So, to get a better handle on this challenging side of things, let's talk about Winston. He's helping care for his grandfather, John, who's dealing with some serious mobility issues from arthritis.
So let's just paint a picture of Winston's life. First off, he's got a job, a full-time job, with all the stress and deadlines that come with it. And on top of the job, he has a family, another huge commitment that needs his time, his energy, his focus.
And then you layer his grandfather's care right on top of all of that. See, this is the key thing to remember. Caregiving doesn't just happen in a bubble. It gets squeezed into a life that's already packed.
So it's no surprise that sometimes he feels the burden. And this is so important to say out loud. It's totally normal. He sometimes gets resentful of how much time it all takes. He gets frustrated because, he can't fix it, he can't cure him. Even just the extra travel back and forth, it all adds up. These are real feelings, and they are completely valid.
But even with all those challenges, with all that weight, At the very core of caregiving, there's this incredibly powerful, unbreakable human connection. And that connection? It rises above the difficult days and the to-do lists. To really see what I mean, let's meet Maureen and her mom, Poet.
So, Poet had a really serious health scare, and after that, their whole relationship dynamic changed. Poet used to be completely independent, but now she relies on her daughter, Maureen, for a lot of things she used to do by herself.
And this is so powerful because we get to hear from Poet, the person receiving the care, and she says it flat out. She believes the only reason she's even sitting here today is because of her daughter's support. It's not just nice to have, it's literally life-sustaining.
And this quote from Poet just sums it all up so perfectly. She says Maureen is her guide, her friend. She's not just a caregiver. Through all of this, their bond has become something so much deeper, something truly profound.
So, when you look at the whole picture, caregiving is this incredible journey, right? It's filled with these huge, unexpected rewards, but also some really significant challenges. And the thing is, this role, it's going to touch almost every single one of us in some way, whether we're the one giving care or the one receiving it. So that leaves us with a really big question to think about. Knowing everything that caregivers do, how can we, as friends, as a community, as a society, do a better job of supporting them?